share. I'm also really excited because I thought I was going to be speaking later, and so all the time I would have spent getting freaked out and nervous, just got to roll with it. All right. So, I'm formerly of Planned Parenthood, but today I'm just here as a person who loves to shout from the rooftops about my personal abortion story.
Jess.
And I'm here today to talk to all of you about abortion stigma. I'm very open about my personal story, but that has not always been the case. For a long time, I kept my experience close to the chest because despite being a pro-choice person, I had never actually heard from anyone who'd had an abortion, which was really isolating. And despite being grateful, sure of my decision, and relieved, I carried a lot of shame. And this was reinforced by people in my life, many of whom didn't even mean to be hurtful. After the Dobbs decision, Pennsylvania has been called a safe haven for abortion. I'm here to tell you that that is terrifying because it's not true. Unnecessary pre-procedure testing, waiting periods, unnecessary regulations of abortion providers and facilities, judicial bypass requirements for youth. Pittsburgh is one of the top 5 hubs in the US for abortion, and we are in a state that is positively hostile to abortion providers and patients. There are so many bad actors that brought us here. Elected officials, some on both sides, folks who use Christianity as a tool to forward the white supremacist capitalist patriarchy, but none of that could happen without us being in this ever-present pool of abortion stigma that we're swimming in. Now, I'm gonna skip what we how to say about anti-abortion folks, because who the hell cares about them? Bye, guys. But I do have some action steps and pledges, and I have some additional homework. So you have Tracy's homework, I'm gonna give you some homework too. These are not just for the conversations we have who people agree with us, right? I'm challenging you in your everyday life, your coworker who makes a comment, the person on the street who walks their dog and makes a comment, your terrible aunt at Thanksgiving. I know she's old, but she needs to hear this too. Too often, progressives and Democrats are reinforcing stigma or negative myths about abortion, and we need to move along from that right now. So here are some tips, tricks, and facts to help guide you in those conversations. 1, it is a myth that abortion is a controversial topic. Over 80% of Americans believe abortion should be safe and legal and accessible. We cannot see. We are the vast majority. Next, abortion is safe. Medical abortion has been approved in the US for over 20 years, and in most countries in Europe for over 30 years. Medical abortion is so safe that medical abortion pills are safer than Tylenol, okay? Are people now in danger because of all of these abortion bans? Absolutely, but it's from unintended things that these folks think that they're doing. Also, I just want to give a shout out. Thanks to PlanCpills.org, in all 50 states, medical abortion is an option, so you need to get the word out because people deserve safe care. Yep. All right, here's this next one. Do not talk about abortion as a tragic, heartbreaking decision. This is simply not the case for most folks. There's been longitudinal research that says 90% of folks feel mostly relief and feel good about their decision. And guess what? That 5% that doesn't is because they had people in their lives that were not supporting them. All right. Do not say things like, well, no one is pro-abortion. Yes, they are, and you should be too. This is a medical procedure that we're talking about. It's the hardest decision that anyone would have to make. Nah, girl, actually it's really not, and we need to stop putting that stigma on there. And this is my personal favorite. I'm pro-choice, but I would never have an abortion. This is actually something that I said myself years and years ago, and someone pulled me aside and said, that was really hurtful. And I said, well, I didn't mean it that way. It happened. And until I was on the other side, I didn't realize how true that was. Next, when talking about abortion, reject a pro-choice, pro-life framework. One, there is no choice without access, and a lot of people have never had the luxury of choice because of purposeful barriers, specifically to people of color and people in poverty. Also, those folks are not pro-life. Do not call them that. Now, don't be afraid to use the word abortion. Do not use euphemisms. If we feel uncomfortable saying the word on our side, that itself is shame, and it's kind of like ceding the point of the other side. And we've been conditioned, like we've been taught, right, that abortion's a word we should be whispering and avoid, but we're gonna practice right now, real quick. So, when I say abortion, you say abortion. Abortion!
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 Love it. All right. I was a cheerleader in high school, and if you would have told me there would have been so much overlap, but I would still get to yell at people and call, it's great. So, I shared all of that in my personal story a little bit because despite the fact that 1 in 4 people with a uterus will have an abortion, a lot of folks don't have the privilege that I do of having been for now several years in this beautiful bubble of supportive, wonderful employers, co-workers, family, friends. A lot of folks don't have that bubble. And I need every single person here to make the commitment to make that bubble bigger so that every single person in your life who's had an abortion would know that you're a safe person to talk about it. And for the folks in this crowd who've had abortions, your choices are yours, your abortion is valid, and I love you.
Yeah!